little Rico. Tonight, Mercy for Animals has exposed what they say is horrifying abuse of veal calves at a Canadian veal farm. These baby calves, who only live for 5 months or even less, are ripped away from their mothers and kept in tiny crates so small they can barely move. Which is the point. The veal industry doesn't want these calves to develop muscles. They want their flesh to stay tender. Okay? These calves are kept in a way to keep them from moving around to that end. It gets worse, though. I warn you, this video is disturbing, and we're not showing you anywhere near the worst of it. But it's important to bear witness. This undercover video shows baby cows being kicked, punched, slapped. Mercy for Animals says they also documented farm employees grabbing these babies, and that's what they are, they're babies, by the genitals. Mercy for Animals says this hideously cruel treatment occurs on a minute-by-minute basis. The undercover investigator says he lost count of how many calves died during the 2 months he was working at this farm. At one point during the undercover video, a calf is shot and then left bleeding profusely to suffer before the investigator claims he's ultimately shot a second time. Straight out to Matt Rice, Director of Investigations for Mercy for Animals. Matt, tell us more about what your investigation uncovered.
Our investigator documented workers punching, kicking, beating baby calves, locking them into tiny wooden crates so small that they can't even turn around or lie down comfortably for their entire lives, and leaving sick and injured animals to suffer without proper veterinary care. This is some of the most heartbreaking cruelty that I've ever seen. These animals' lives are filled with misery and deprivation from the moment that they're born and ripped away from their mothers to the time that they're shipped to slaughter and killed.
We reached out, by the way, to Delamax Veal for comment, did not hear back by our deadline. Delamax is one of the largest producers of milk-fed veal in Quebec. Does not own this farm, want to stress that, but does provide calves to it and then picks up those calves to bring them to the slaughterhouse. The owner of Delamax told the media that the video was, quote, sickening and unacceptable. Critics say the cruelty is institutionalized by the veal crates themselves, crates so small that these animals are kept in a way that they don't develop muscles. But let's talk a little bit about the connection to the dairy industry. A lot of people don't know veal calves are the offspring of dairy cows. Dairy cows must be impregnated to produce milk, and the boy babies that are born of those dairy calves are no use to the dairy industry. So describe how they are ripped from their mothers and what their life is like and how it connects to the dairy industry.
Yeah, to keep cows on dairy farms producing milk, they're kept in this constant cycle of pregnancy and birth. Since the male calves will never produce milk, they're considered worthless to the dairy industry. So they're ripped away from their mothers as soon as they're born, locked into these tiny wooden crates on veal factory farms, and left there to languish for months at a time, often fed iron-deficient formula, which is a milk replacer intentionally intended to produce borderline anemia that produces that white-colored flesh that's so popular with veal. They're kept in these cages in such a way that they can't walk, run, or exercise or develop muscles. And after a few short months, they're dragged from these crates, trucked to slaughterhouses, and violently killed and then sold in grocery stores nationwide.
Well, this is a horrible, horrible story. Thank you for uncovering it. What would you tell consumers? We only have 10 seconds. Where does the consumer fit in?
Well, the easiest way to help in the suffering of calves and other animals is to simply stop eating them. And we have resources at our website, mercyforanimals.org.
Well, I want to thank you, Matt Rice and Mercy for Animals. Imagine what the investigator, who's an animal lover, that's why he's in this industry, went through having to document this day after day, week after week, unable to do anything but press play on that undercover camera. It's so sad, but together we can change it. Right, Rico? Nancy Grace next.